Hi, and welcome back to R&Y Inside Learning Hub. This is Sumit Kumar Chaudhary, and you are watching Manual Testing Series. Today, we discussed about entry and exit criteria. So, let's begin. I am going to shoot. Okay. So, as you know, there are there are so many things in software testing to performing the activity to ensure the product is meet the requirement of the client. Okay, so entry and exit criteria are one of the most important phases of as a tester or as a team, like for developer, for team lead, for POs, for Scrum Master, for anyone. Okay, so there are basic two starting and stopping point in testing there. That is entry and criteria and exit criteria. Entry criteria indicate when to start a test, or exit criteria indicate when to stop a test. Both these points are equally important in testing, and the decision of starting a test has a great impact on the success rate of the test. So what is the entry criteria in software testing? So first, it indicates that a particular item or function is required to be started, tested at this stage. Secondly, it may indicate that the second should be carried out based on the some predefined priorities. And finally, it gives detail of how much time and resource are needed for testing. Entries can also be classified into categories like expected failure, unexpected functional bugs, and stress condition, etc. Each category of entries needs different approach in handling them while performing testing activities. Okay, so an exit criteria. The exit criteria give the indication of when testing is complete and how much it has been covered. It also provides detailed information about what could be any major defect in the product not detected so far. In other words, while performing functional testing, we normally have a coverage limit of each test item like 19, 80% and or 70%. The cutoff point help us to determine whether some additional tests need to be carried out to attain 100% test coverage or not. This cutoff point is known as an exit criteria. Or if you consider a test case where the total number of test cases required for testing an application is 1,000, then we can take 500 or our coverage limit and say that hence we reach this limit, then we can close such as cases. So in the entry criteria, we focus on the BRD, business requirement document, SRS for software requirement specification, FRS functional requirement specification, use cases, test plan and test cases. And exit criteria, we created a document as summary report, requirement trackability matrix, defect analytics report. So let's understand in deep what is the BRD, what is the SRF. Okay, so BRD is a business requirement document is created during the initial phase of the testing project. This document contains the high level business requirement that could be easy to follow by business stakeholder, managers, board of directors, etc. This document is also referred to as a business requirement specification. So BRD explains what functionality system should we have and answer the why part of the system requirement. It lists the business stakeholder requirement and expectation from the system. For an example, the requirement for online booking platform could be similar to following. Like bank customers should be able to register themselves. Registered bank customers should be able to log in. Customers should be able to online transaction. Customers should be able to open fixed deposit. Customers should be able to recharge their mobile phones. Okay, and FRD. The business requirement document are built with high level business requirement and stakeholder needs and expectation from the system. This document is good to be referred by the business user, but does not have a sufficient information for the development team. Therefore, a functional specification document is required with detailed requirement in the technical terms that will be referred by the technical team for further development of the system. The FSD requirements for the online banking system could be like below. Username should not include a numeric value. The password should 8 or more character long. Only 5 transactions should be allowed in a day, etc. A functional specification document describes how the system is going to function. In other words, FSD is a technical response to the needs set out from the requirement document and your business objectives in a software or other technical project. A functional specification document is a start of a conversation in a technical term about what we are going to deliver. It can be seen as a guideline or reference document of the system that will be referred by the development team. This document focuses on the system capabilities, its appear and interaction with the end user and other component with other connected system. This document is also known as a functional specification requirement or functional specification or product specification. Okay. So what is the SRS? So software requirement specification is one of the important document for the development team. It is a complete description of the behavior of the system to be developed. It documents what requirement must be fulfilled to satisfy the business requirements. It allows describe all the user interaction between with the system with the help of use cases. So SRS document contain all the functions and non-functional requirement along with the use case that the software must meet. It includes complete business requirement, system properties, constraints and behavior, system reliability, response time, shortage requirement, etc. Therefore, it is also used for estimation the cost of effort required for the developing that software. In a nutshell, a software specification requirement document elaborate on the business requirement mentioned in BRD to accommodate the functional and non-functional requirement along with the user intersection with the system, i.e. use case. Therefore, you might not be find this document in a small project. Because of them, BRD and FSD document are enough to develop a system. This document is prepared by system analyst or business analyst and referred by the project manager, management, development and implementation team. This document is also known as a SRS or and product requirement document. So next, move on to next slide to understand use case. So as you can see the diagram in the use case UML, we can say you used to create a visual represent of an actual live system by using specification symbols and connector are required to create a use case diagram. A use case is represented by its name in an oval and the actor is represented by the stick figure with the name of below. Each action between an actor and use case is represented by a line. This use case diagram helps to define the basic flow of the event in the system. This high level diagram can help the entire Scrum team to understand the system under test and to discuss and define workflow in the system. Use case diagram are mostly created by the business analyst at the early stage. However, it can be employed at any stage of the system software development process. This can help the team to think of all possible scenario a system can be performed. It also helps to define if there is any scenario missing to be integrated. So use case basically create for to understand the flow of the system. Okay, it help to create use case also help to create a most effectively test cases to test the system. So move into next slide. So test plan. Test plan is a document that catalog the test strategies, objectives, schedule, estimation, deadlines, and resource required to be complete that project. Thinks of it as a blueprint of running the test needed to be ensure that software is working correctly. A well-crafted test plan is dynamic document that changes according to progresses in the project and stays current at all times. It is the point of reference based on the which testing activities are executed and coordinated among a QA team. Test plan is also shared with a business analyst, project managers, development team, and anyone associated with the project. This mainly offer transparency into QA activities so that all stakeholders know how the software will be tested. The plan is built by QA managers or leads based on the input from QAs and sometimes non-QA team member. Creating it should not be more than one or third time allocated or entire project. So let's understand why the test plan is important. They help individual outside the QA team, developers, business managers, customer facing teams understand exactly how the website or app will be tested. They offer a clear guide for QA engineer to conduct their testing activities. They detail aspects such as the test scope, test estimation, strategies. Collecting all this information into a single document makes it easier to review by management, personnel, or reuse for other projects. Okay, so component of test plan is scope, schedule, resource allocate, environment, tool, defect management, risk management, parameters, all the component of the test plan. So scope is basically details the objective of the particular project. Also, details user scenarios to be used in testing. The scope can be specified scenario or issue the project will not cover if necessary. Schedule details date and deadline for tester to deliver result. Resource allocation details which tester will be work on which test. Environment details the test environment nature, configure and availability. Tools details that tools will be used for testing, bug report and other relevant activities. And defect management detail how bugs will be reported and to whom, and what each bug reported need to be accompanied by. Or risk management details what risk may occur during software testing and what risk the software itself may suffer if related without sufficient testing. Exit parameter details when testing activities must stop. This part describes the expected result from the QA operation, giving tester a benchmark to compare actual result. Okay, so it's very important to understand how the test plan create. Creating an effective test plan involves the following steps. Product analysis. First, we need to understand the requirement very deeply. Okay, and what the targeted user of the product. Designing test strategy, defining objective, establish test criteria, planning resource allocation. Okay, the QA lead or QA manager should aware uh, about the capabilities of the team member. Suppose I have a five team member. One of the team member is very good to test the APIs, and one of team member is good in the database testing. One of the team member is good in the UI testing. Okay, and one of the team member is good to test the security on any other performance and blah blah. Okay, so this is a help to planning which resource will work on the which module or which type of testing. Okay, so determine the time scheduling and the estimation. It's very important to schedule or time or estimation to deliver the good product. Okay, sorry. So testing documents. In the exit entry criteria or exit criteria, we should understand the testing document, test plan, test scenario. Okay, so test plan is also already covered. Okay, and test scenario. Test scenario is one line short or declaration which define about the functionality that we are going to test, like to check the login, to check the project, to check the payment gateway, to check the customer profile, like that. And test cases is a detail of the scenario, the test report, and bug report is defined detail, and we create all the all the all the detail with the bug. Okay, So test scenario and test cases element. Test scenario element is like test serial number, test scenario ID, test scenario title. Okay, and test cases element serial number, test cases ID, test type, test cases title, test case description, test step, precondition, prerequisite, post conditions, expected result, actual result, test status, tested by, testing date, and test cases element is is according to the organization or according to the project behavior. Okay, so now let's understand the document of the exit criteria. So test summary. Test summary report is an important document that is prepared at the end of the testing project, or rather after the testing cycle has been completed. The prime object of this document is explain the detail of the testing activities performed for the project to respective stakeholder like senior management, client, etc. It also portray the overall quality level of the application. While the daily status reports only deliver the daily status, the test status and result to the stakeholder. Test summary report, on the other hand, provide a consolidate report on the overall testing activities performed in the life cycle. So we can say test summary help to understand the coverage of the test cases of the product. So three main objectives of the keep all the relevant stakeholder informed about the test status of the project and quality, and stakeholder can be corrective action if necessary based on the product quality. And the third one is the report can be help to in deciding whether the project is ready to shift. Okay, so and pillar of the good test summary report, specification, standard, clarity and detail. So when to create the test summary? A test summary report is ideally created at the end of the testing life cycle, as already discussed in previous slide. So it is can also indicate details of the about regression testing. However, there should be enough time after the report is submitted and before the product is to be shipped to the customer. The intention here to help the client and stakeholder with the information on the overall health of the testing life cycle and and the application being tested, so that any of corrective action can be taken if necessary. Okay. What to include in test summary report? An informative test summary report should be concise and relevant. There are several examples of the test summary report template. There are available online, but all the them might not be applicable in your cases. Therefore, it is vital to customize our report according to nature of your or of our test of project after doing a proper analysis. Okay, so test summary report is a test objective. Second is area covered, not covered, defect report, testing approach, planning. Okay, so main important is RTM. So many interviewer ask about the RTM in interview. So guys, please try to understand about the RTM. What is the RTM? It's a trackability matrix is a document that corrective correlated any two baseline document which require a many to many relationship comparison, checking the completeness of said relationship. Primarily, a trackability matrix is used to keep the tabs on requirement, ensure fulfillment of the project requirement. What is the requirement trackability matrix? A requirement trackability matrix shows how the requirement related to other artifact and demonstrate that requirements have been met. It documents required test result and issues, proving that all necessary action have been taken. RTM usually help to evaluate the impact of the project requirement. When requirements shift in the middle of the project, a trackability matrix let you see the impact workflow as cases training matrix software coding. With the help of this diagram, you will understand well what is the trackability. So basically, we created a consolidate document with the test cases or with the test result of the according to the test cases. You can see. Okay. So this help to to cover the testing. Okay. And last but not least, the defect report. So defect report is indicate or help to understand the detail of the bug, to report impact area, root cause, and all the things in the defect report. So as you can read, a defect report is a document that include complete detail about the application software defect, source, what are the action needed to be resolve them, and expected result. Developer can check this defect report, understand the problem and its solution, and make improvement accordingly. QA tester create a defect report to test and analyze each functionality and note it in a report. It required lot of effort and information to write a detailed defect report and deliver to the developer. Okay. So guys, I hope you understand the concept and you like the video. To show your feedback, please like the video and share it with your network. If you have any questions, suggestion and feedback related to this video, then feel free to comment on the comment section. If you are new to this channel, subscribe and press the bell icon for video notification. Thanks for giving your valuable time to watch this video. In coming slide, we will discuss about the 7 principle of the testing. In coming video, we will discuss about the 7 principle of the testing. It's very important to understand what is the 7 principle. Okay. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching.